nobody needs to see a man in a Speedo doing kettlebell swings. Right. Morning, trainiaxo. Working on my Mexican dialect. I am so late. We're talking a good 45 minutes late, but in the week leading up to a race, sleep is greater than hard work. I'm not gonna get any faster right now, so I might as well just rest up, make sure I'm healthy. That means I'm gonna be here for like 20 minutes, and it's gonna be great. And guaranteed I'm gonna hear about it. Well, that there might have been the perfect 4 days out from a race swim workout. Got in, missed the warm-up, missed the main set really. So I was cold, stiff, and then all of a sudden, bam, we did a drafting train set, which is basically like what's gonna happen in the race. I'm gonna get in and have to do 400 meters really hard while I'm not really warmed up entirely. I was getting my toes smacked by Jeffy in behind me, doing some toe smacking up at the top of Alicia in front of me, and then with almost no rest, we got into a steady set. Basically, the same thing that's gonna happen in Campeche. I hear it's Campeche, not Campeche. Now I'm gonna do a few kettlebell swings because my back's a little bit out, but I've got this nice box to jump on to cover me up because nobody needs to see a man in a Speedo doing kettlebell swings. In a Speedo doing kettlebell swings is where I draw the line on too much is too much.
You good for the weekend?
I think I'm good.
Well, any last quick questions? You know where to find me?
Just go fast.
Just go fast.
Just go fast.
So simple.
It's easy. Wasn't that nice? Just a little pre-race pep talk from Coach Pat. Oh, my back's a little iffy, and I think it is right now because it's been super windy outside. Windy on a rusty bike at the end of winter. Not very good for the lower back. Light kettlebell swings, high reps. I find that it tends to just bam, snap everything back into place. Back at the office, I want to talk about something that I'm not asked about a ton, but it's probably one of the biggest problems that people go through in a race: cramping, digestive issues. Believe it or not, they're related. They're in a cluster. See you back at the office. Just had a delicious lentil soup. It was fantastic. Kim knocked it out of the park. I want to talk about one of the biggest triathlon issues that I surprisingly don't get a lot of questions about, because I think people just accept that it is something that's going to be gone through and experienced, and that's cramping. And related to that, which you might not really realize, is stomach issues, GI distress, poop in your pants, things like that. The questions that I do get are from people that say, how can I stop myself from cramping? And typically they say, what electrolyte drink or nutrition product should I use? Should I have something like a salt tab or an electrolyte mix? And they think that that is what's going to stop them from cramping, because there's this notion out there that it's due entirely to electrolytes. Stream of consciousness here. I'm just gonna talk because there's a lot of moving parts, and just saying that it's one thing or another is really tough. My experiences with cramping is, number one, I have experienced one of the worst full body cramps around. Like, I'm talking, I was cramping all the way from my neck, from here, down to in my feet, everywhere. And much like everyone else, I said to myself, oh my goodness, I really messed up my electrolytes. When we started looking back, what had happened was two things that day. Number one, I had changed my bike position just ever so slightly in the week leading up to the race. Big mistake. As I always say, don't change things in the week leading up to the race, and don't race with anything that you haven't tried before. You always create a race plan that is your personal best. That's what everyone does, just kind of naturally. I actually had come into that expecting to have a personal best, but when we finished the race and looked back at my training, I hadn't done enough volume and enough speed work to justify a personal best, but I was pacing myself like it was a personal best. Oh, and I had nailed all of my nutrition with a plan that had worked for me in races before. There was really nothing nutritionally that should have been an issue, but what was a big issue was the position on the bike and pacing myself a lot faster than my body was capable of. What the research is actually saying these days days, more often than not, the most common reason for cramps occurring is because you are overexerting your body past a level that you are trained to do. So the answer to, hey Taren, any suggestions for getting rid of cramps or side stitches, is to train more and execute a race in the same way that you've trained. If you've trained for a certain pace, that's here. Don't try to execute a pace that's here. It's going to lead to cramps. The next issue, yes, it could be because of a miscalculation of electrolytes. Some people do really well with salt tabs. Some people do really well with just straight water or coconut water. Personally, I feel that the most foolproof approach is to use a slight carb-based electrolyte drink. 100 videos ago, I could not say carb-based anything like Scratch or Osmo Nutrition. It has kind of the average amount of calories that most people's bodies can absorb within an hour, and it has enough carbs to help your body absorb it. If you find that you're a really salty, heavy sweater, then maybe test out using salt tabs, but test it leading up to the race. Now, as far as food goes, what a lot of people will think is that they need to eat more and drink more, especially in hot weather, because they're like, holy smokes, I'm gonna be sweating a lot. I need a ton of electrolytes. Actually, when it's hot, it's going to be much, much harder for you to absorb even your base amount of carbs and electrolytes. What I'm going to experience in Campeche, due to it being so hot, all the blood in my body is going to rush to the surface of my skin to try to cool itself off, and because there's so much higher percentage of blood that is on the surface of my skin and in the extremities, pumping these little arms and these little legs, there isn't going to be a ton of blood in my stomach to be able to digest all of that electrolyte fluid and carbs and gels and chews and bars and fuel that we're putting in here. As Coach Pat and I were coming up with the race plan, what he said was stick to whatever your baseline of nutritional planning is. You might be sweating a whole hell of a lot. The last thing you want to do is start guzzling water. For sure not. It doesn't have any electrolytes in it. And I don't necessarily want to start guzzling electrolyte drinks, because what can happen is I'll end up with a whole bunch of electrolyte fluid, gels or chews or food in my stomach that can't be flushed out. That is often where you get people puking, because you just have a whole bunch of stuff in your stomach sloshing around that has no way out but the way it came in. So rules of thumb, train a lot, don't race faster than you train, or train as fast as you want to race. And then take one serving of a gel, a chew, a bar. We're talking like 90 to 120 calories every half hour, and then somewhere around 12 to 16 ounces of a light electrolyte drink every hour. And that, if you nail it, should result in much less chance of you cramping. And believe me, folks, until I figured out that I had to do all these things, that spot right, like that spot, you know, that's when that tightens up. Oh, have I been prone to cramping in races? Like, you wouldn't believe. That's how I'm gonna deal with Campeche. The more you know. Okay, I gotta finish up this day, get home, pack up, and then we leave tomorrow morning. There we go. I think that's it. 3 pounds underweight on my bike bag, and I'll be offloading 3 pounds of weight in the form of a bike pump from Nicole's bag, so I think we're both even Steven at an exact 50-pound bike bag. One check-on bag with a whole bunch of nutrition goodies, bunch of camera gear, video editing laptop, race shoes, casual wear, and fancy wear for the conference that I'm going to in San Diego immediately after the race. Check, 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 double check. I think we done, Trainiacs. 4 a.m. wake up call tomorrow. See you then.